Hello and good evening, guys. I welcome you all to today's price action analysis of Nifty and Bank Nifty for the 22nd of March 2022. And we had a massive rally today in the second half of the day. And what was that rally? It was a short covering, panic short covering in both Nifty and Bank Nifty. So let's see what happened today, right? Since the open. See, yesterday we had seen that the prior, that is the 17th March gains, were completely taken out by Nifty. You can see here that this was the 17th of March, and you can see here that this is where price had opened on the 17th of March, right? It from here price went right up to this high, and then the next day, that is on the 21st, this next trading session, not the next day but the next trading session, price opened, made a high here. It actually opened here, then made a high here, and then it completely took out the gains that it had made in the previous session, and it actually fell further towards the S2. We had analyzed this yesterday itself, and now see what happens here. This trend is still ongoing. Okay, in today's session the trend is still ongoing because we had a flat opening today, and after the flat opening here you can see that this candle was the red first candle that opened, and that was a tricky kind of candle because it was neither red, neither bearish nor bullish. Yes, the color was red, but it was neither bearish nor bullish. You can see that it has a very long wick on the bottom. So such long wicks don't really suggest any particular bias. So but it was still red. Okay, so obviously considering the fact that it had opened below the CPR here, and then also seeing that it was a red in color candle, a lot of people would have shorted it, especially seeing this particular third candle. So a lot of short positions were opened in this third candle. Why? Because it had broken out of the previous day's range. Now this range was broken by the very third candle, that was the 9:25 AM candle, and after that range was broken, you could see that price went straight down to the S1 pivot here, and the support was here. Okay, that was the support. Now you can see that I had marked the gap here, and I was actually expecting this gap to be filled, which has not been filled yet. I'm surprised about it. That gap has not been filled. Why? We will see when we see Bank Nifty's analysis, but this gap still remains here, and Nifty came down here. It took the support at around S1 pivot, and it again made a small base here. Then again right here it made a small base, and then you all saw how it shot up. Now here it was a complete panic situation here. Why? What happened was there were a lot of short positions that were created after the 9:25 AM candle, and you see that when the let's see the timing of this candle, when the 12:40 PM candle took out the high of the 9:25 AM candle, which had broken out of the previous day's range, you can see how large the 12:40 PM candle has become. The body is huge, and what happened here was panic short covering here. So everybody, all those traders who had jumped into this particular candle here right up in the morning, and who were merrily holding positions within this entire range, thinking that price was going to crash further from here, as has been the pattern for the past one day, and you could see that here what happened was it did make a few good bodied red candles here within that area, and it was in fact this candle that also broke the S1 pivot. But then after that you can see the price action. Let me just zoom this a bit and then you can see it better. Tell me which candle after this particular candle is a large red candle. You can tell me if any one of these candles is a large red candle. There is no life within these candles. You can see these small candles here. See, check all these candles out. this one, this one, this one, even these candles, these are all small candles. Even this candle has a wick on the bottom. So these are all small candles. And look at the size of the candles here. Look at this candle, look at this one, look at this one, and this one also that broke out of the S1 pivot. These are all traps set by big players. But price is pushed down, and here a lot of orders are accumulated by big players, and then a final push is given here with this 12:40 p.m. candle, and then a lot of panic is created when a lot of those shorters get their SLs triggered, and then price rallies like crazy. And you can see here I had written yesterday itself in yesterday's analysis that it is a very wide CPR which would indicate a range bound day. So I was never particularly very positive about going long in either of the indices. I had actually tweeted in the morning itself that this is not a day to go long on. The simple reason here was that I was expecting, I knew that it was a wide CPR, and I was expecting price to stay within the S1 range today, frankly speaking, and that it has respected the S1, although this was frankly a breakout here, which was a false breakout, which was just created, as I said, by big players. But the S1 pivot has held today, and as I was expecting, I would have been okay if the price would have collapsed from here and then the gap would have been filled, and then I was actually expecting the price to reach the S2 pivot, but that did not happen, and actually price went up, and this was a short covering, a surprising short covering today, and the short covering was so severe that even the CPR was not respected. And these are not the days when you should be taking long positions, frankly speaking. If you were to ask me whether this was the candle on which you should have gone long, that was the 1:10 p.m. candle which had broken out of the CPR, then no, that was not the candle to go long on, because if you had seen Bank Nifty was still within the CPR, and you could see that these were very strong green candles here. All these candles were strong green candles here. Even the candle that broke the R1 was very strong, and then that is the reason why you should always put logic ahead of greed, and you should read price appropriately and properly whenever you see price action happening on the charts. Okay, so now given that price action of today, let's move ahead and see how we should adjust levels for tomorrow. Now we will reduce this gap down. It's a very tiny gap left, so it's okay if you don't mark it also, but this is the amount of gap that is left. So what we will do is we'll just delete that box. The more the boxes, the more confusing it becomes. Okay, we have the Virgin CPR coming from the 17th of March that we have now extended for the next trading session because it is not touched even today. We can see this level here which we will delete, and we have all other levels marked for tomorrow as of Nifty. No particular levels. We can see that the previous day low, that is today's low, will act as a very strong demand zone, so we will just keep that level ready for tomorrow's trading session. We can also see that we have a level here which has been broken today by this 12:40 p.m. green candle, which was the breakout candle. We will keep that level ready. The reason being that is where the price has reversed its direction. So whenever you see that a price reverses its direction, you should keep a particular zone or a level ready. So you know that level, whenever price comes to that level again, it might react to that level. I will update these levels on Twitter, so you can take down those levels as they are from the image. I just extended the 16th March Virgin CPR. Let us take a look at Bank Nifty now. See, what happened in Bank Nifty was, Bank Nifty opened with a stronger red candle than it opened in Nifty with. So we can see here that this was the red candle which actually broke the previous day range here, previous day low range here, and it was the very first candle that broke it, and then you can see that it kept going down with strong red candles. Again here you can see the S1 pivot here, which is this pivot, the blue line marked here, which was broken in Bank Nifty. And you can see here that we had marked a level here, which was the Virgin CPR. Now let me tell you guys, a few of you have asked me if the breakdown from Virgin CPR was a worthwhile trade to take, if it was a good trade to take. Let me tell you guys, we do not trade on the breakout of Virgin CPR. Okay, breakout of Virgin CPR. We do not take such trades. It is not important if the Virgin CPR is broken from one side and price penetrates it and ends up on the other side. It is not important. What do we trade? We trade the reversal of price from the Virgin CPR. Reversal from VCPR. Now this is what we trade, and this is what we trade when the Virgin CPR is fairly wide. Okay, this Virgin CPR was pretty lifeless since it was a very narrow one. Sometimes price will take a halt here. It will give you a reversal sign, a false reversal sign, and then it will break down from it. So you are supposed to take a reversal trade from here if you see a pattern somewhere. So if you see a pattern like this, see a pattern like this with a long tail. So if you see a long tail candle, which is called a bullish pin bar, and you see a bullish pin bar somewhere at the Virgin CPR, if the price comes from the top, and you know that then there is a reversal there that is going to happen, then it is okay to trade the reversal at the Virgin CPR. But most often I have seen that Virgin CPRs don't hold when they are so narrow. But since they are there, we still mark the Virgin CPR just to be careful at that level. We should not be caught napping. We should not be surprised at that level if the Virgin CPR holds and price suddenly reverses and we don't close the trade if we are already in a pre-existing trade. It is important to close pre-existing trades or not to initiate new ones whenever we are at important levels. So we should not short into a support, and that is the only reason why we mark it. And see, you can see here that price went on a kind of a massive fall from the open to the S2 pivot. Then at the S2 pivot, it has taken a strong support here, and whenever you see such levels where price is actually contracting and taking support for a long time, there is something coming. The price is either going to break down or go up. And then the same story happened here. A lot of people, after seeing that the day's low was broken, had taken short positions here in Bank Nifty also, and a lot of positions were open since the previous trading session also. And then here you can see that large green candles were formed, and a lot of these candles have taken out the high of the current day, and then they have broken the CPR here. So these are the kind of short covering rallies that we see, and that is how powerful they are, that not even average size CPRs like these can hold a strong short covering rally. You can see that price the swing was so heavy today that it actually opened at the inside the previous day's range. Then it broke the S1 here. It took support at the S2 here, and then after it took support, it swung all the way up to the CPR. It broke the CPR, and then it went and met the R1. You can see the R1 pivot here. The blue line is the R1 pivot here. So that is the kind of volatility that price has shown today. Extreme volatility in the market. It is a very difficult market to trade in. You cannot really judge what price is doing, no matter how good a judge of the price action you are. And there have been whipsaws today. No matter what position you take, you probably got your SLs triggered. But this was clearly a panic short covering in Nifty and Bank Nifty today. So depending on this kind of price action in Bank Nifty, let's go ahead and see what levels we need to delete today. Now this was a level that we had marked prior, which we will delete. It was the gap that was remaining. It has been filled today, so we'll delete that level. We have a level below here, below the S2, which has comfortably held today. That is the level of the 35,459. We will push this level down a little bit, and that is a good level to have. And we will add another level here, that is the previous day low. So it's almost like a zone. we will delete the virgin CPR that we had marked prior. We will extend this virgin CPR now. That is coming from the 16th of March, but that is also not a very wide virgin CPR. One level that I can see here is the level where price had reversed and it took the high of the opening green candle. You can see that it was a open is equal to high candle, so it's an important level to mark, the level being 36102.70. that is the open or the high of the first candle, but that level is right within the CPR, so it's okay if you don't mark it for the next trading session. Okay, and we have all other levels marked. This is the gap that we have marked previously. That gap still remains there. We have the supply zone at the level of 36704.95. You can see that level marked. Yes, as of today's price action, those are the important levels for Bank Nifty. And so today was a day of massive short covering. On the 21st of March, it had formed a strong red candle and it has taken out the low of the previous days, that is the 17th green candle low out, and now exactly at the support that has been marked here at around 35434.20, it has formed a nice pin bar, a green candle here. Okay, so this is a strong sign in my opinion. What is important is that the low of this candle here should not be taken out here tomorrow. So that low is very important that it stays, and if there is an opening of price tomorrow upwards, if tomorrow takes out the high of today's trading, then there is a good chance that price will go and fill the gap that we see here, at least partially, but then the trend will continue upwards. We will also see what the daily chart of Nifty shows us. Yesterday I had seen that it was a kind of an engulfing pattern here. Okay, so the red candle was engulfing the green candle here, and if the low of this red candle is broken today and if we find a closing below the low of the red candle in today's session, then I was worried that price would fall from here, and the next support was at 16838. But thankfully a strong green candle has been formed here. This is a very good sign, and now what remains is to be seen is whether price takes out the high of this particular green candle tomorrow. Then again, as we said in Bank Nifty, we should be able to see a good rally upwards. So this is all for the price action analysis of Nifty and Bank Nifty as of today. Thank you for watching this video. If you have liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the bell icon so you're notified each time I post a new video. Do leave your comments in the comment section below, and have a good day ahead. Bye bye.